Hello and welcome to sentence diagramming exercise 10a. More practice with conjunctions linking multiple modifiers. Before we introduce a new concept, we're going to do one more lesson with this. All right. I hope you did the warm-up already. I also hope I didn't cut my own head off with the camera zoom. Apologies if I did. Probably not going to reshoot it. These things take time. I'm a busy person. Okay, match each set of terms with their location on the most important piece of paper in the world, that being your grammar and diagramming handout. Parts of a sentence that is located A, in the upper left corner of the most important piece of paper in the world. Parts of speech are located C, in the upper right corner. How to diagram conjunctions is in the lower right corner. How to diagram an indirect object is with diagramming structures in the lower left corner. List 5 different parts of a sentence in the space below. There are actually 6 different parts of a sentence that you know. I asked you to write 5 of them. These are all parts of sentence. Subject, predicate, direct object, predicate adjective, predicate nominative, indirect object. Those are the different parts of a sentence that we know so far. And then the third question, which of the following is impossible? A, a direct object following an action verb. No, that's quite possible. B, a predicate nominative following a linking verb. Nope, that's quite possible. Predicate nominatives always follow linking verbs. C, a direct object following linking verbs. That is the one that is impossible. Direct objects only follow action verbs, as in like, Mr. Day poked the whiteboard. Or I dropped the marker. Excuse me. Or I excused myself. Those are all direct objects. Those are all action verbs in those sentences. D, a predicate adjective following a linking verb. Nope, that always happens too. Okay, so let's move on to number 1. I gotta erase and scroll. Not sure what the camera's up to, because I swear to golly, I didn't need to zoom out like that when I left it last time. Okay, so first sentence, my mother just sent our daughter Bridget a pair of toddler shoes with airplanes on them. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is parenthesize prepositional phrases. With airplanes is a prepositional phrase, on them is a prepositional phrase. Next thing we're going to do, the subject and predicate. Mother is the subject, sent is the predicate. Next question. Mother sent what? Mother sent Bridget? No, that's not what was in the package in the mail. Bridget was home already when the package got there. Mother sent what? Mother sent shoes. Okay, is sent an action verb or a linking verb? It's an action verb, and shoes is the what that's being sent. It's following an action verb. Shoes is a direct object. Now, is there a person or thing to whom or for whom these shoes were sent? Yes, it's Bridget. Bridget is the indirect object. Those are the parts of sentence here. Here come the parts of speech. My is an adjective. It's a possessive. Mother is a noun. Just is an adverb describing sent. When did she send these? Oh, she just did it. Just a little bit ago. When? She just did it. Our is an adjective. It's a possessive. Daughter. Ooh. Oh. There's something tricky going on here. Let's circle that and come back to it. Is an article. Pair is a noun. Excuse me. Of is a... Oh my gosh, I made so many mistakes! It's a good thing we can fix them. Look, I'm owning my mistakes. Okay. Mother sent. Mother sent what? Mother sent shoes? Nuh-uh, cause shoes is the object of the preposition of. I missed a prepositional phrase. Of toddler shoes. is a prepositional phrase. And toddler is an adjective and shoes is a noun, but that means that shoes can't be the direct object. Pear is the direct object. Remember, the object of a preposition can't be anything else in the sentence except the object of the preposition. So it's a pair that's what's being said. Of toddler shoes tells us more about that pair. Shoes is not the direct object. Pair is the direct object. With is a prepositional phrase. Airplanes is a noun. On is a preposition. Them is a noun. Okay, so I made that mistake because I missed a prepositional phrase at the very beginning. It's really, really helpful to identify your prepositional phrases at the beginnings of sentences and to be thoughtful about it. And for this daughter Bridget part, I think the thing to do is just treat that as a single word. This is sort of something called an appositive that you don't know how to diagram yet. So we're just going to treat it like one word. Okay, and here comes the diagram. Now we've got the parts of speech right. The parts of sentences right, and we've got the parts of speech done. Time to diagram. Mother. Sent. Pair. That doesn't cross the line. An indirect object. There's daughter Bridget. There's no to in the sentence, so we're going to put it in parentheses. Our describes daughter Bridget. That's a possessive. Excuse me, I was about to write adjective there. The word is our. Whose mother are we talking now? Okay, so mother sent pair to our daughter Bridget. All right. My describes mother. Capital M is the first word of the sentence. Lazy L because it's a possessive. Sent. She just sent it. It's an adverb. Our daughter Bridget. What did she send her? A pair. Now, tell me more about this pair. It is a pair of shoes. What kind of shoes? Toddler shoes. What kind of toddler shoes? Toddler shoes with airplanes. And what about these airplanes? The airplanes were on them. The them being the shoes. Okay. My mother just sent to our daughter Bridget a pair of toddler shoes with airplanes on them. Okay, so we got a practice sentence in there. Hey, it doesn't have a conjunction in it. How about that? I hope you don't feel cheated. But you did get to see me modeling like how to rework and back up and do over again once you've made a mistake. So I hope that was valuable. Let's do number 2. Please identify all the prepositional phrases and label the subject and the predicate. Pause the video until you've gotten that done. Okay, here we are. One prepositional phrase is without those stylish and retro 1985 Air Jordans. And I hope that you're able to tell that Air Jordans is a proper name. If you can't, what rock have you been hiding under since I was in middle school? On the steps is a prepositional phrase. Of the portrait gallery is a prepositional phrase. I hope you can tell that portrait gallery is a proper noun. That too can be treated as a single word, just like Air Jordans. The subject here is you. The predicate is are. You are. Okay, so you are what? You are teen. Is that quickly now, is that a direct object, predicate nominative, or predicate adjective? Here's how you can tell it's a predicate nominative. It's a noun. Are is a linking verb. Follows a linking verb. It's a noun. Does it rename you? Yes, it does. So you and the teen are the same. Subject and predicate nominative are the same thing. Okay? There's no indirect object here. Let's move on. Please label all of your parts of speech. Pause the video until you're done, then we'll go over it. All right. Without is a preposition. Those is an adjective. Stylish is an adjective and is a conjunction. Retro is an adjective. 1985 is actually an adjective here. Which Air Jordans are we talking about? 1985 Air Jordans. That's a noun. You and are we did already. Just, it's a tricky one. Let's come back to that because we just saw just as an adverb. I think it's got to be an adverb again because we could think about the words, think about the words that we could put in its place. We can say you are merely another teen. You are simply another teen. Those are obviously adverbs with the ly ending. Most ly words in English are adverbs. So I think that just is going to be an adverb too, and that will affect how we diagram. Another describes adjective. Teen is a noun. On the steps, preposition, article, noun. Of the portrait gallery, preposition, article, noun. Okay, let's do the main. Please construct the main line of the sentence and pause the video. Please pause the video, do your diagram with the main line, and then we'll check it. Okay, I hope this is what you got. And I've been doing some more thinking. Like this just is really getting to me. You are teen, we got that, okay. I'm not convinced now that this is an adverb. We're going to be doing some thinking about that. Ooh, we're also going to be taking a little break while I get the video back. Okay, so here's a question for you. Without those stylish and retro 1985 Air Jordans, where do you think that should go? Think about that, make a decision, and I'm going to ask you another question, and that question is this. Do you think with those stylish and retro 1985 Air Jordans can we move to the end of the sentence? As in, could we say, you're just another teen on the steps of the portrait gallery, comma, without those stylish and retro 1985 Air Jordans? I think the answer to that question is yes. And I think that that means that since it can move about in the sentence, it must be an adverb. The only place an adverb can go here is the predicate, or is off of the predicate. And so that's where we should put this prepositional phrase. If you didn't think that you could move it to the end of the sentence, if you're like, nah, that sounds totally wrong. I mean, I guess you've got a point. I mean, go ahead and diagram it off of the subject. But if you think that it can be moved, then it needs to go off of the predicate. Okay. Oh, pause for a second. Do your diagram, then get back to me. Okay, so here's what this should look like. Without Air Jordans, those excuse me, stylish and retro Air Jordans, those stylish and retro 1985 Air Jordans. That's how it goes. Interesting fact here, or point, that stylish and retro are connected with the and, 1985 is not connected to the and, those is not connected to the and. Now on to just. I want to come back to that in a second. Another is pretty clearly an adjective describing the team. And here's why I want to come back to just. Because if we said you are simply or you are merely another teen on the steps of the portrait gallery, those are pretty clearly adverbs. And if those are adverbs, then you are probably diagramming them off of the predicate, off of the are. But if you think that it could be substituted with the word only, you are only another teen on the steps of the portrait gallery. Let's think that through for a moment. Because only is usually an adjective. Like, how many cookies do you have? Only one cookie. Oh, or is that an adverb too, describing another? Oh, yeah. So you've got a couple of places. I think it seems clear that it's an adverb. If you think that it's merely or simply, then maybe it comes off of the predicate. You just are another teen on the steps of the portrait gallery. But you could also think that it describes another, I think. You're just another teen. I'm going to put it off of this one because I think it's a little bit simpler. Okay, what kind of teens are we talking about? We're talking about teens on the steps. Which steps are we talking about? Of the portrait gallery. This just is still getting at me. I feel like there's a case to be made that somewhere that it might be an adjective or that it might be an adverb coming off of another. I don't know. It's like, I'm not certain about that. I'd welcome some clarification. If you think you have a really strong opinion about it or a really good informed opinion about it, well thought through, come talk to me. I'd love to hash it out. But for now, we're going to move on. By the way, if you don't know what the sentence is about, just go outside Gallery Place at 10 p.m. on the Friday. It's all the cool kids are. And if you didn't know that already, because you don't go there at 10 p.m. on Friday nights, that means you're not cool. Sorry. All right, let's do number 3. I've got to erase and stuff. You pause the video, do your best. Independent practice now. Do it on your own, and then we'll check it all. Okay, here we go. I hope you don't feel cheated. This one doesn't have a conjunction either. Life goes on. By the second Tuesday from now, some members of the junior class will be in a panic about their grades. First thing to notice is that there are a lot of prepositions here. In fact, what you're left with after you get done with the prepositions are just some members will be. So members is a subject, will be, I hope you can recognize that as a single verb, is a predicate. Members will be what? Members will be in a panic. Aha! It's a prepositional phrase acting as a predicate adjective. I hope you didn't forget that those can exist, because prepositional phrases can act as adjectives. If they can act as adjectives, they can certainly act as predicate adjectives. And that's what we've got going on here. You have got to ask yourself the question, what? Members will be what? Will be in a panic. Okay. Parts of speech. By is a preposition, the is an article, second is an adjective, Tuesday is a noun. From is a preposition, now is a noun here. Do you know how I know? Because every prepositional phrase has to have a noun in it. This prepositional phrase only has two words. From is the preposition, now has to be a noun. It absolutely has to be. Some is an adjective, members is a noun. Of is a preposition, the is an article, junior is an adjective, class is a noun. Will be is a verb, it's a linking verb. In a panic, that's the predicate adjective, it's a prepositional phrase. Preposition is in. Is an article, panic is a noun. About is a preposition. There is an adjective, it's a possessive. Grades is a noun. And here comes the diagram. Members, there's the subject. Will be, there's the linking verb, diagonal line, to set up the predicate adjective or predicate nominative. Here is in a panic, on a stand. That's how I chose to do it. You could also put the in here on this diagonal line and panic on that horizontal line. What kind of a panic are we talking about? A panic about their grades. There it goes on the lazy L because it's a possessive describing grades. About their grades just describes the panic. It doesn't describe anything else. It's only telling us what kind of a panic we're talking about. Okay. Which members are we talking about? Some members. What kind of members are we talking about? Some could also be how many members. How many of them? Some. What kind of members are we talking about? Members of class, the junior class. Some members of the junior class will be in a panic about their grades. When is all of this going to happen? By the second Tuesday from now. It answers the question when. It must be an adverb. It must be diagrammed off of the predicate. I hope you can tell also that it needs to be diagrammed off the predicate because you can move it to the end of the sentence. The sentence would have the same meaning. By Tuesday, preposition and noun. The and second describe Tuesday. From now also tells us which Tuesday we're talking about. The second Tuesday. Well, how do we know where to start counting our Tuesdays? Well, it's the second Tuesday from now. So it describes Tuesday. I hope that makes sense. Please ask me or your teacher if you have any further questions. Please work with your teacher as you work on the reverse sum. Thank you.